Greetings to each and every one of you. On this Easter Sunday, I'd like to share with you a message that I've written for the members of the diocese, the Archdiocese of Gatineau and the Diocese of Mont-Laurier. My name is Paul-André Durocher. I'm the Archbishop of that first diocese and Apostolic Administrator of the second. And I think of all those who are celebrating the feast of Jesus Christ risen from the dead today on this Easter Sunday. Um, I've been, I've noticed a video that's gone viral recently. It shows a black bear awakening from hibernation. After months spent in a dark cave, it manages to weave its way out of the snow and come out into the broad daylight. It's quite lean, it's staggering, takes its first step under the gaze of a forest ranger who's filled with joy at having been able to finally get such images on her smartphone. Um, this bear, it seems to promise our own exit from the caves in which we are finding ourselves right now. The coronavirus has kind of forced us to take refuge. It has sent us into hibernation. And this bear seems to say, well, one day, you'll get out too. You'll be able to live in broad daylight as before. Life will resume. It's a good message to hear, and it makes us feel good to be reminded of this. But on this Easter Sunday, there's another image that comes to mind, that of a caterpillar slowly climbing up a stalk, weaving its cocoon and closing itself in that cocoon for a little while, slumbering, you would say, and then emerging, transformed into a multicolored butterfly capable of flight. This image speaks more to me of the wonder that we celebrate at Christmas, the resurrection of Christ. For when Christ, 3 days after his passion on the cross, came out of that tomb, it wasn't simply awakening from death to resume the normal course of his life. He was deeply transformed by the power of the Spirit of God. True, the scars of the tortures that he suffered remained on his body, but he emerged into such life that nothing, neither time nor space nor death, could ever hold him back again. So my hope is that our homes and our apartments in which we are confined these days will turn out to be more like the tomb of Christ than like the bear's cave. Yes, this time is painful, especially I think of the elderly, those who cannot get out and cannot receive visitation. I think of the vulnerable, particularly those who are subject to possible violence in their own homes. I think of the unemployed. I think of so many others whose precariousness in life is magnified. And even for those of us who are well off, comfortable, plenty of food and stuff to pass the time away, this time prevents us from pursuing our dreams, acting on our impulses and realizing our projects. But perhaps this time is given to us precisely to reevaluate these dreams and to judge these impulses and to review our projects. Perhaps it's a time to get back to the basics, to rediscover fundamental values, and to change our lives. So my hope is that we'll use this time as an opportunity for individual and collective transformation. I think even the church cannot simply think of returning to pre-pandemic times and practices and habits. We are called to a deep pastoral and missionary conversion. Pope Francis has been saying this for quite a time, and I believe this time that we are living is forcing us to look at that seriously. So what we are living is like a long, holy Saturday. Well, let's live it with patience and courage and generosity. And let's prepare not only to be awakened, but to be transformed by the Spirit in the Easter morning that the Lord promises to each and every one of us. We can have sympathy for the bear, but I think we're all called to become butterflies. With this thought, I bless you and I wish you a joy-filled, peace-filled, hope-filled Easter.